back and forth, and the day of the hearing, half an hour before, they gave up and said, all right. And so here I am.
Isn't there a center in Portland for quads that's like specific?
Yeah, it's called Myers Court. It's near here. Some of the people who have worked for me have worked there. But no, I definitely would not want to do that.
And what's unattractive about that?
Oh, I want my privacy. I don't want to be in a sort of quasi-institution with a bunch of other quads. I would want to be living with a bunch of normal people. I just want to be on my own, by myself.
You talked yesterday about how if you'd learned to be one thing early on, you'd learn to be alone. And if you weren't a quad now, would you be living that much differently than the way you're living?
Oh, sure I would. I'd probably, if I weren't with Frida, I'd be moving around, just like I was before, from city to city.
So this has forced you to be stationary?
Mm-hmm.
How often did you move?
Well, I mean, that's my choice. If I wanted to, I could go on all those, wheelchair nature trails and all that insanity. How often did I move? Oh, every couple of seasons. After I left Philadelphia, yeah.
Can't take...
I went to San Francisco, I went to Seattle, went back to Woodstock, came back out here again.
What's behind all that?
Oh, I don't know. I just enjoyed it. And I had the facilities to do it. And I liked discovering new places. I was taking a lot of pictures. I was actually getting more into photography than writing. Unfortunately, that got cut short because I was getting pretty good at it. And it was starting to interest me more and more.
Well, did you have the income still from your inheritance to bankroll it? You want this back up?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had some, which I subsequently have had to just hide. And I signed all that over to my old man. But right before this happened, Frida and I were talking about moving back in together.
How long had you broken up?
Mm-hmm. Oh, we never broke up. We just stopped living together. We talked all the time and saw each other. I don't know. Like a couple of years, I guess.
Well, it's interesting that you've been forced to stop moving and stop looking outward and taking pictures of what you're seeing and just sit and come back inward and think of your own pictures, basically.
Well, I would, like I say, that's that's the way I've accommodated to this situation. I don't know. I think all those mechanisms of denial are just really unhealthy. All those dying cancerous children at Disney World and all that stuff. Just if I can't do it, I don't want some substitute or some pretense. If you can't, you can't. You just have to do, find some other way.
Well, do you feel at this point that you're just marking time?
Well, like I said yesterday, it's just the next day. I don't think about. I only look backwards. I don't look forward at all.
And what do you see when you look backwards?
Oh, I think about the past all the time. I mean, that's my sort of a resource.
Did you...
But to think of 10 more years of this would be, it's just unthinkable. You just have to turn away.
It's life without parole.
Exactly. Right to life without parole. Can I have some of that tea there?
Sure.
It's probably just about the right temperature now. Yeah, Frida just called me this morning and told me her sister-in-law, whom she barely knows, has had these amnesiac episodes, and last week through a really big seizure. So she was having all these flashbacks to 2 years.
Have you always have a good grasp of memory on your past? And I have major chunks of my life that just I don't know what I was doing at that point.
No, I've got a pretty good, but what's curious, I don't know, with me anyway, it's like there are certain moments when a shutter clicks and you get that peace. and it's like a slide carousel. It's always the same pieces. You can't get around them. You can associate things with them, but that's the thing that's clear. And why the shutter clicks is a complete mystery to me. I mean, they're completely innocuous things that I remember very vividly, that in and of themselves are really insignificant. But, that'll stand for a certain period, or a certain person, or something like that. And after a while, you'd like some new pieces, but you're just stuck with the ones you've got. Sometimes with a real effort, you can find something new. But usually you're just sort of riffling through the old stuff. I think about Woodstock a lot. That was going to be my inheritance. That was where I was going to spend my ratty, bad-tempered old age, throwing stones at passing children. Get off their property. But it might as well be Venus now. For all that I'm ever going to go back there.
What is the place at Woodstock? Is it in town or?
No, it's out a little over a mile from town. It's I think he's got about 30 acres by now. And a good-sized house and a pond across the road. That's nice. And I spent a lot of happy times there, doing essentially nothing. That was where I would go when I wanted to do nothing. In a really concentrated, intense way. I have a really, really old friend there, and back in the early 70s, we used to go out and get drunk every night. I mean, puking, falling down in the street drunk every night. And the next day we'd get on mattresses and just sleep. Floating on the pond, and you'd wake up when you hit the weeds, and then paddle out to the middle again and go back to sleep. That was a pretty pleasant cycle. And then by 5 or 6, he'd have some dinner, and we were ready to hit the bars again.
Well, were you reasonably satisfied with your life and what you were doing?
Things were great, Things were coming along just perfect, yeah. That book had just come out, and things were looking real good. Which I guess is when this shit always happens.
Well, the things look entirely bleak and grim and all those are two words I actually hate, particularly grim. Or do you even bother looking at it like that? Just kind of wake up and deal with the day?
Well, it's unavoidable. I mean, sometimes you wish you could just, click off. But in the last year, I guess I've come around to some sort of accommodation to it. How
about immediately after the surgery and when it was obvious that what you had was what you're going to have? And was that a major depressive time? Or?
Oh, yeah, it was awful. I mean, for the first couple of months, I guess I was just sort of numb. And then it was terrible for like a long time. And Frida and I talked for a long time about how could I get out of this? But it's just against the rules. It's another one of those denials. I mean, that's about the most fundamental choice there is. And I'm not allowed to make it. It's really crazy.
Well, if you could make it today, do you think you would make it? Oh. Or is that an obscene question?
No, that's a good question. I guess I'm not ready right at the moment. A year ago, I was ready, definitely ready, but somebody would have to help me out, And whoever did would end up like Roswell Gilbert, with their nuts in a vice, or their tits in a vice. No, now the only way to do it is if she and I do it together.
Very Gary Gilbert.
That's the only way. So it's a pretty remote possibility. But at least it's a possibility.
So in the meantime, you're left to write. Do you go outside at all?
Never. Well, I haven't. Oh, sometimes I go around the block or something, but that's just another choice. That's just not my world out there at this point. Mm-hmm. And when was the last time I went out? I mean, on a trip. It was October. So it's been just about a year. I went down to the beach and spent the weekend at this guy's cabin who works for me. I might do it again in a couple months. He has a really nice view of Haystack Rock, but I mean, what do I do out there? Where do I go? Wherever I go, I'm still just going to be sitting, staring, and that's not I don't know, it's like rubber candy. And I'm perfectly happy not to. I'm not fighting any hankerings. I have my little routine, from this room to that room. That's not...
Well, what is your routine? Get up and get bathed, or?
Oh, it takes about an hour to get me up. I come in here, and I'm always on machines. I'm the perfect modern man, either that one or this one. So,
And you're on the respirator full time?
Oh, absolutely. I've only got,
What does that actually do? Does that pump air in and out of you?
well, I have no nerves to operate my lungs. If I take this off, I can gasp a little air, but within about, I don't know how many minutes it would take, but not minutes. Gotta have that air. It's very important. And there's nothing left to operate those lungs. Last summer, I was going into this real, get with the program place. And they were gonna fit me up with all these electronic implants so I could raise my arm. And it was just all kind of so what to me, gadgetry, which really wouldn't change my situation. The big thing was, could they put in an electric implant to operate my lungs? Well, they tested me and found out that they had just clipped every fucking wire. There was not a one left, so that was that. And that I would have done, but after that I quit going. The standard program terminology is that, these gadgets give you more independence. Well, it's the whole denial game. I'm on this thing, I don't have any independence. No matter how many buttons they put on this thing, you can't alter that reality. You have to, I don't know if it's a grace or a crime, but we large brains will adapt to anything, whether it's, evil or a horrible situation. Well, that's not true. Some people don't. There are guys I know about here in town who are quads, who they're still biting people, and they just wigged out behind it. A lot of them are real young. Like I said, they just never had a shot at anything. And now they have to sit and watch. And some of them they don't get past it.
Let's talk about inner tube a little bit. You said yesterday that you basically started with the opening line and ran from there.
Literally, that's what I started with.
So you had the opening line and you had the idea that it was...
I was up in Seattle for the summer, and the woman's house I was staying in, there was a note, fresh and pristine, with nothing written in it. And on page 1, I put that sentence, or a version of it, beginning with those words. And I guess the next thing I did was buy some old TV repair manuals in a secondhand store, and just sort of started flipping through them and writing things down. All kinds of stuff that I never used. That always happens. And it wasn't until, 6 months, I went back to Woodstock for the winter that I started writing. And I wrote that first chapter first. That was the beginning. And I sent it to some friends, and they thought it was great. And then I just started writing pieces. And originally they all had titles of TV shows, all the chapters. But Lish talked me out of that. It was a bad idea. I mean, it was a good idea, but it was too cute. So I abandoned that after long hours of fitting the right one to the right one. But so it goes. You have to throw stuff away. And I guess I had written, maybe 100, 150 pages before I went to the hospital. And it was, maybe 8, 9 months before I got this and started again.
Was it difficult to pick it back up?
Yeah, until one night when I had insomnia, which is another dividend of all this. I never had that before. But one night, like a whole chapter came to me. The one about the Armenian girl who gets raped in San Francisco. I just started writing furiously in my head. Pretty much the whole thing from start to finish. And once I got that, then it was okay. Then I just plugged away, started again, and rewrote almost everything I had done before. Yeah, just about every chapter I'd done.
What changed? Did the point of view change?
I don't think it was the point of view. I think I just became more careful about the words. I just wasn't satisfied with what I'd done. Some of it was sloppy and lazy, and this method is slow, and it makes you careful.
You're actually...
You can't just pound stuff out and rush and run. and it makes you look and think. And there it is glowing on that green screen. And, word order and rhythm and all that stuff is real important to me. Each sentence has to be right. Now, like I say, it can always be better. There's stuff that you just finally have to let slide, let it get away. But I rewrote all that stuff. And I don't think I changed the sense of it or the mood of it that much. It was just craft, as they say grandly in the theater.
I think in maybe Kakutani's review,
Can you send? I wish you'd send me a copy.
yeah, I've got it. I'll send it to you.
I mean, it's clear that my agent is pretending that it never happened.
Oh, it's actually.
And I'll never see it from her.
Fairly amusing. It's so just straightforward.
Well, like I say, if I got under her skin, I want to see it.
But
I got a rejection letter from North Point Press
on what?
on the first book I wrote called Newsreels. Well, the first serious book I wrote. It was
How many books have you written?
It was about 3/4 of a page long.
The rejection.
And this guy was mad. I mean, he was pissed. I mean, it was essentially, this is a disgusting book. These are disgusting people. Why should we care about them? The same thing. I loved it. I adored it. I copied it and sent it to people. My agent was shocked. She said, what? And I said, I got to this guy. I really twisted his nuts. And that's what it's all about. You want to get into somebody's head. And if they scream and squirm and hate it, it's the same thing. You got in there. I mean, either way, it's fine with me.
What other books have you written besides Auditorium and Inner Tube?
Well, only 2 other serious grown-up books. The Newsreels, which was a novel about Los Angeles, which I still have some warmth for, and a bunch of short stories called Seizures, some of which I'm probably going to try rewriting now. They're all at least 6, 7, 8 years old. Because Lish wants to do a book of short stories.
What's he thinking?
Before this thing, I don't know why, it's over there in those files. And he doesn't think they're as good as the new stuff I've been doing.
So you're working mainly in short stories?
Because I have been doing some short stories off and on. And he's right, but I do like some of them, and if I could save them, I'd like to. I'd hate to think all that work just goes down the drain. There are a couple that I think I will try and rewrite and bring up to speed or whatever. And Knopf, for some reason, I don't know why, is churning out these short story collections. And, they're notorious non-sellers.
Oh, are they really?
Sure, nobody buys short story collections. And particularly by somebody they've never heard of.
How big a printing did it do on something like Inner Tube?
Oh, I'm very bad at that.
Auditorium. Yeah, you have no idea.
Fried always gives me a hard time about that. I don't know. Auditorium.
Auditorium ever going to paperback?
Mm-mm.
That's too bad.
Yeah, it is. Too bad. That's where its readership is. It needs to be out in those spin racks.
The dipshit women that Tom Robbins throws out there goes for miles where.
Well, I seem to. Newsreels was mostly female point of view. A lot of the short stories I've been doing are female point of view. That's no big political. It just seems that's what I end up doing without really thinking about it. Women are more interesting.
Well, is it an underdog, downtrodden point of view?
No more than, any of the people I write who are always in some way in trouble or fucked up or wanting out or wanting something else, which is not, how I felt, but I don't know, that's what happens.
Was that carrying through into the Suriname?
I mean, it's not a decision. That's just what happens when I work. I'm not sure. That modern storyline hasn't really developed yet. And I don't know how I will write about a guy who's 50 years old, or almost 50. I don't know what he's going to turn into. So far, he's a kind of neutral guy. He's been through a lot and nothing surprises him, and so he's kind of in his niche. This other character is much younger, and he's in all sorts of trouble.
That's in the lab.
He goes to Suriname from Kingston, New York, having never been to New York City, 100 miles away. He's a glass plate photographer. And yeah, he's an interesting character. He's developing. I've got a pretty good line on him.
Maybe you'll run into Edward Muybridge. Muybridge traveled in Central America.
He's an interesting guy.
After he shot his wife's
I
lover to
would
death.
really like to work that story in, yeah. And copped an insanity plea, and 2 years later, hooked up with Leland Stanford. Yeah, I just picked that up in a few sentences in some history of photography book.
Yeah. I did a lot of reading about Muybridge.
And I put in my notes. I would definitely like to work that in.
But he has this whole period in Central America
Oh, when was this?
right after that. He left the country and went to Central America to do...
This was before he met Stanford?
I think this is actually after his thing with Stanford. That was
Because Stanford bankrolled him at, wasn't it Penn that he ended up at?
Well, I don't know if Stanford bankrolled that. He did end up at Penn, but by that time he was established with his motion studies
Right.
photography at Penn.
Well, according to this book that I read anyway, Stanford had some major bet for, I don't know, many thousands. And Muybridge helped him settle it with those string-tripped cameras.
Yeah.
Well, the whole technology of wet plate photography is just really insane. And to try and carry it out under those conditions, it's a wonder they got any pictures at all. And didn't all die at 30 from the fucking poisons. Mercury vapor.
So, you don't foresee any great author tours?
No, that was no loss, believe me. I did one shot here in town, less than a month before I went in for auditorium on, what the hell, I don't know, live at noon. One of those shows. It was excruciating. I did great, or so they told me anyway, but it was not something I'd want to do more than a few times. I mean, there are people, Wayne Dyer, there are people who will happily go anywhere and go on your radio show, but no, like I say, once I finish them, they're dead and buried. Because it's all the work is all for its own sake. There's no further aim. I mean, like I say, I like to get into someone's head, but it's all just to do the do.
You don't wonder about how these babies are being received by
Well, I mean, I would be lying if I said I absolutely didn't care. I had no interest.
you ever get fans?
It's just sort of mild. Oh, sure. I've already gotten a couple of crazy letters. The most mail I got was from the piece that you did. I got plastic prayers up, and I wasn't in the proper mood. And I didn't save all that stuff. I really should have. Some of it was